No. Come to show them where I am. Not nice.
Welcome to The Bigger Picture with me, Nick, and my co-host, Sid.
Good morning.
Good evening. You're in Canada. We're also going to talk about all your experiences and your recordings in Canada. And this episode is, of course, part 2 of Project Bluebeam. We did part 1 last week. This actually, usually we do it every 2 weeks, but because there was so much stuff going on, we had to do it 1 week earlier. And last week we sort of explained what Project Bluebeam was, so we're not going to go over that again. But, Project Bluebeam in a nutshell is people associated with a false flag and an alien invasion, which is not really an alien invasion, and sort of the ultimate goal is to take over the world. And that's, I guess, in a nutshell, what most people understand Project Bluebeam to be. So, Sid, how was your week?
I think it's like one of my best weeks of my life because I spotted something, but we'll talk about that later. Right now, I think Project Bluebeam and everything is one side, but right now these drone sightings are insane, which triggered us to do this show 1 week earlier.
Yeah,
because we want to talk about this while this topic is hot.
And it is absolutely hot, and it will probably get even hotter. I got the perfect sort of intro, apart from the intro that we just did, to get people sort of up to speed. We're going to share tons and tons of stuff. I hope my computer will manage. But let's start with this one, because this one gets a nice overview.
These are not U.S. military drones. Again, this is being investigated by local law enforcement. What our initial assessment here is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
You're telling me we don't know what the hell these drones are in New Jersey are? Is that correct?
That's right.
It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. That's madness that we don't know what these drones are.
From the Coast Guard, who said that one of their 47-foot motor lifeboats was followed by between 12 and 30 of these drones as they went through the water.
These are 6-foot drones that are somehow evading our detection. They are not being detected.
They're saying no threat, but how the hell do they know? They don't know anything. They don't know what it is. They don't know where it come from. They don't know nothing.
They know that they can't track them. They know that they don't emit a signal. They know that they can't see them when they turn their lights out. They also indicated that they don't know where they come from. They don't know where they go to.
One family claims they followed a drone in their car, and while it hovered above them, the clock in their car changed times.
Some of the FBI agents that have been assigned to look into this have reported drones flying over their homes.
It's right here over Picatinny. There was a drone just hanging out. I put my drone up in the air and went towards it. I had full battery life. Not 3 minutes into the flight, I lost control of the drone. Warning on my screen, lost control, and my drone started going down dead.
These are fully charged batteries. It's 2 batteries that have died within seconds, and the drone went up and, like a couple feet off the table, and then came right back down.
Okay, you see it? You see how it goes? See how it goes? And then it becomes a spacecraft or aircraft or whatever you want to call it.
What the fuck is that, bro? Did it just get smaller? Bro, what?
Above the ocean, and it was low, very low, but so bright and so clear, and it was huge. Like when you...
I'm concerned. I issued a letter to ask for more information, and I think there should be a lot more transparency about them.
Can you make that make more sense? Because I think people in New York and New Jersey see drones the size of an SUV over their house every night and think that that doesn't make any sense.
I understand why people would be looking at this and being concerned about it. We're concerned about it too, which is why we have the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI. My goodness, looking at this, and we're taking it seriously.
Yeah, we're taking it seriously. So they have absolutely, officially, no idea what it is. They can't say anything about it.
So
they can't do anything about it, but they do know it's not a threat.
No. So in that way, I know that this guy, John Kirby, and those politicians, they have no clue. But I don't think nobody has a clue. I think somebody knows what they are and what they are doing.
Yeah, yeah. I actually. So we can take it many ways. I think many people would love to see more clips of UAPs or drones or whatever these things are. We got some really really nice ones lined up. I curated them myself. We also have radio interference. We got 3 clips of those, which are also really cool. But we also have, of course, context, and we're also going to talk about them. But I think maybe let's go a little bit into the lawmakers and the sort of the governors of New Jersey, and I think also the surrounding area that are sort of giving their opinion about this. I really like this one. This person, I have to check his name. The New York State Senator was very outspoken and very clear.
Yeah.
Let's listen in.
This started as some questions, and now it's reached a point of almost insanity. You think about a United States senator who has to go out with the local police to look for drones. That's where a United States senator is getting information. We had a briefing from the state police, the colonel in the state police. He was frustrated. He had no idea where these drones are coming from. Not only did I call for a limited state of emergency and the FAA shutting down the airspace for drones, but also having the Department of Defense come in and answer questions. If the Department of Defense doesn't know where the origins are for these so-called drones, then we're in trouble. We always thought that if there was something in the air the size of a car, that the Department of Defense would know where it came from, what its origin was, and what its purpose was. Now you have a United States Senator going out with the local police, to look for fireworks at night? That is scary.
It is terrifying. Like Caitlin just reported, President-elect Trump is calling for government transparency, which you are as.
So we're going to play a little bit more of it later. But, basically he and others sort of asked for a limited state of emergency. That's also the title of the show.
Yeah.
To sort of clear out the sky, right? Because, apparently these drones are flying around with impunity. People are speculating, are they adversaries? Are they NHI? Are they ours? Are they rogue contractors? Is it a false flag? Is it genuine? Right? The speculations are off the charts. First of all, what do you think about the limited state of emergency? Good idea?
That's a bad idea because it's United States. You cannot do that in the US because that means you're going to take a lot of liberties and freedom of the people, and people will not take that lightly. So yeah, the only thing they can do there is like stop everyone, like pass a law where nobody can fly drones over this area just to just to see if those drones come back, and then if they track it to some person, then that person is committing a crime, so then they can persecute. Right now that's not even a crime. They are scaring, but that's like legally it's not a crime, so they need to pass that law. But everything else, emergency, is stupid because there are already too many conspiracies going on. If they impose emergency, people will freak out. Right now nobody is freaking out, so just play along.
Yeah, but so basically the limited emergency was about them not allowing people to launch drones. Basically, that was the emergency.
By the way, in that area in New York, airspace, you cannot even fly. I was listening to the space yesterday of Mario. A lot of people were there, including George Santos. They were saying that you cannot fly a drone in that is airspace anyway. So it's kind of emergency work. It's impossible. It's like very few areas where you can, but I think they just put it put restrictions over there. I think that's all they should do. I don't think that will consider an emergency, because emergency brings so many other things with that, like extra power for military and all those things. So
Well,
that's why, yeah, that's not a good idea for United States.
So let's talk a little bit about that, right? Because we got this bill that just got passed. The House passes a 895 billion defense authorization bill, and on top of that, we also had another bill, and that is this one. Wait, I think I'll use this one. So for the people who are watching, I got like a million gazillion. Okay, I got it. Links open. So I'm navigating my own computer here. But this is the other bill. The FAA Reauthorization Act of 2018 expires on December 20th this year. So the federal government is literally using, well, this is of course speculation, a terrorism drone mystery psyop against you to manipulate Congress into passing the new and on the HR 8610 Counter UAS Authority Security Safety and Reauthorization Act of 2024, which will include appropriations and enhance government powers to control you, and they're even going so far as to use it to push for acts of war against other countries. So I'm not that familiar with this law. Oh, did I not put it up? Oh, sorry.
No, it wasn't. But you were speaking, so I was listening. No worries.
Okay, great. Yeah. I'm gonna put it up. I thought I put it up. Apparently, I haven't. Oh, I did. Okay.
No, you didn't.
There we go.
Yeah.
This one. This is what I read. So, here's the article from Zero Hedge, which I got here. So they say New York drone invasion just in time for Congress to reauthorize Orwellian law, and then they go into the details. I won't bore you with all the details, but it's definitely something to get into. But Elon Musk did some tweets on X. For example, on September 30th, he tweeted or posted on X, drone swarm battles are coming that will boggle the mind. September 29, epic drone wars coming. January 5th, 2023, the drone wars are already a big deal, but we ain't seen nothing yet. So this is, of course, fueling speculation.
This is fueling, but people also need to realize there are like multiple wars going on right now, and drones are being heavily used in those wars. So there is a possibility that Elon Musk is referring to those, because Iran did release their new drone, which is amazing. I looked into that. It's an amazing drone. So, and Ukraine is using drones, Russia is using drones. So there is a possibility that Elon is talking about that. And I don't think if he knew something sinister going to happen in the world with the drones, like what's happening right now, I don't think he will come out and say it like that, as long as he's a part of that. And I don't think he can rebel, because deep state is too powerful. I don't think Elon can fight it, so I don't think he will go and say something shit like that.
So we also have this one. This also came out recently. Jacques Vallée. He's like world famous within the UAP community. He's a famous
super famous, yeah,
mathematician. I think he's also an astrophysicist. He was the character, the French character in Third Encounters of the Third Kind of
the movie.
Steven Spielberg. He was sort of the character, the person that the character was based on, the French researcher. But he also worked at ARPANET. He was one of the architects of ARPANET, and he's like a fountainhead when it comes to UAPs and UAP research. He also did research to the Trinity crash. But anyway, renowned UFO researcher and scientist Jacques Vallée believes the UFO disclosure process is a lie. Or a government misdirection. So he is actually also doing a lot of publications and speeches on the Soul Foundation. If you're not familiar with the Soul Foundation, go check it out. We'll link it down below, which is basically a group of academicians. Academics is a better way to say that.
Yeah.
I prefer that one.
Yeah.
And scientists, and even I think 1 or 2 Nobel Prize winners, and 4-star generals, and all kinds of really renowned and celebrated people who came together to create this think tank, and he's part of that. So he's not anybody. And within that think tank, they were actually sort of pushing for disclosure. So that was sort of the whole reason for the Soul Foundation. And now he comes out and he's basically saying, okay, it's might be a misdirection. We might not get full disclosure. It seems that the government is leading us on for some reason. And you could even claim that, I haven't read the whole thing, because this is actually a section from a whole post that he did. We'll also link that one below. But he's basically saying we might have been taken by the nose and strung along, and that they're actually being used, right, to sort of. That's my take. I don't know if that's actually what he's saying, because I haven't read the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
But to sort of adjust the mental state of the people like us, in order to prime us to accept UAPs, the possibility of UFOs, but especially to make us receptible to the government lines that are being pushed out, right? That we won't get the full truth, maybe not even 5% or 1%, but just enough to string us along.
Yeah, but here's the thing: there is no government line. So, yes, like Department of Justice is saying one thing, the governor and the mayors of New Jersey are saying another thing, senators are saying another thing. So there is no one line right now, and there is no statement from Joe, President of United States, which is so shitty, because like, what the hell you are doing? This is a serious issue. You don't even comment on that. Other than that, Jack Willey, I'm pretty sure he have no idea what's going on, so he's speculating based on his data. What I was listening yesterday, like George Santos were saying that when he was a senator or a member of a house, who whatever he was, he passed a law where they authorized but authorized a budget of creating more drones, highly advanced drones. And this is the deployment of this, could be a deployment, because he don't know either. So he was saying this could be a deployment of it, and that's why there is no reason or a security threat for the public, but he didn't know for sure. And with that point, I will say, if for example it is the deployment of those drones which he passed, why the hell they are appearing on other countries? Like, why?
Yeah.
I saw them myself two different nights. They are visible in UK, they are visible in Argentina. I'm getting videos from
Germany.
Brazil and some eastern part as well.
So let's go there first, because for example, this one is from Reuters. Confirmed sightings of drones at airbase, an US airbase in Germany. Basically, also in the UK, these drones or objects are sort of hovering around US air bases and military bases, and most of them, are highly secured, and also sometimes contain nuclear weapons or nuclear carrying equipment, like bombers and all those kind of things. So that's sort of where these drones like to hang out. And you actually have like fighter planes chasing these drones and then shooting, with velocities, high velocities, escaping these fighter planes. Sorry.
No, but just want to talk about this thing. All the videos I've seen and all the drones I've seen with my own eyes, and I recorded that, I posted it on my Twitter as well. They were not high speed. They were really slow. They were way slower than you expect.
Well, Yes and no, because we also have some high-speed ones. Let's see if I can find that.
There are okay, maybe because there are some doctored videos coming out as well, so I'm not pretty sure. But what I'm gonna base right now is like the most videos I've seen and what I personally saw.
Mhm.
Secondly, like so they are so slow that you recognize that's not a plane because I know the plane speed. I lived at Heathrow Airport for like 3 years back when I was in London. I There was like a plane landing and flying within a minute, every minute for hours. So it was like a very familiar sight for me to understand like how planes move. And even in Vancouver when I'm here, I see planes moving around and there is a certain speed you can recognize. But for those drones, they were really slow. They were not fast at all. They were
Yeah.
moving from one place to another
Well, you got
in
the
like a
five.
line.
You got the five observables, right? That were established by ATIP, which was part of the Department of Defense, like one of their programs that they had running unofficially, and later, they admitted that they had ATIP. And the five observables, I think I also put them down somewhere. Let's see if I can name them over here. I think I got them. Yeah, okay. The five observables are sudden and instantaneous acceleration, hypersonic velocities without signatures, low observability or stealth, transmedium travel, and positivity lift. Those are the five observables. And this is like a recording of pilots up in the sky who called in the following. So it's a 30-minute ATC recording, captures pilots from multiple aircraft reporting mysterious red orbs flying at hypersonic velocities between 30,000 and 50,000 feet. That's pretty high for a drone. These objects are seen corkscrewing over the ocean and coast of Oregon, defying non-physics. So these are of course the different kind of drones than the ones that are seen over New Jersey. But the New Jersey ones, they also have some of the five observables, right? They do have stealth and cloaking abilities, for one, and that's definitely one of them. They apparently can also feel that they are being watched by people from their cars and then start cloaking, which is also unusual. And they have also the ability to interfere with radios. That's not one of the five observables, but it's at least very curious.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, are these like normal drones? Well, they're clearly not normal drones.
Clearly not normal drones, yeah.
Because they're the size of SUVs. But but and they can also go in and out of the water without a splash, which is definitely a transmedium.
We don't know that because people are saying that. I've not seen any video of that because like we don't know if they're going in or out. I've seen videos coming from the ocean side, but I don't know, like we don't have any clear evidence for that, so we'll just stick to that.
Well,
I don't think if they can do that, I think they will be breaking laws of physics. I don't buy that.
We
Like
got
if
this
they
one. Let's
play it if you have a video. But I'm just saying that will be breaking the law of physics if an object is splashing without a splash.
Oh, you didn't know that? Well, that is actually one of the observables from.
That could be like if it is made of a light or something,
Yeah.
without
Well,
mass.
no, but these things are actually recorded, by Louis Elizondo in his book, but also in his interviews, and,
Yeah,
and not only him, but many others have.
I know, but I have not seen a video. I've seen the submersible. Like I've heard a lot about these submersible ones, but
Yeah,
I've not
that's
seen it. But right now, let's see if you have a video.
okay.
But what I've seen right now, I don't know about the splashing. Even when they were talking about submersible, I always thought there is a splash. I didn't know about no splash.
Yeah, no, they don't have a splash. That makes it so special.
Okay, that's an alien technology.
Yeah, that is definitely, and that's why they call it transmedium, because they can sort of go without loss of any speed or all of that.
One of their officers called 911 after seeing 50 of them come off the ocean.
Advised after we made contact with that officer that there were 50 that came off the ocean.
50?
50. That was my reaction also. There were 50 that were coming off the ocean.
And this is a sworn officer?
A sworn officer, yes. We contacted state police, we contacted the FBI, we contacted the Coast Guard, at which point the Coast Guard went out with their boat and they reported seeing 13 following their boat. And then the Coast Guard also advised that they went over them about 300 feet and had a wingspan of about 8 feet.
You know, the Ocean County Sheriff, that drone unit, they have an industrial grade drone. They put it up. They were tracking one of these drones, Elizabeth, and they said this thing easily evaded them, disappeared out of thin air. So, you know, to me, it's if this is not our military, then it's even more scary, and we need to.
So that's like an official.
This is. I will talk about this one because this is an important clip. But you were saying you have a video of a submersible one?
No, not a direct one. I only have people
That's what I'm
talking
saying.
about it.
Maybe that's there, but I have not seen a video of that. Anyway, regarding this clip, so this is a journalist from News Nation and pretty authentic guy, and then there is also a sighting from the cop. These both are saying something. They also have recorded a video.
Mhm.
This guy, this bastard, Mick West, came out and said
Oh.
he just saw a plane, and just because he's a reporter or a cop, that doesn't make him a credible uh, witness. Are you kidding me? Then what makes a credible witness? And there are like thousands of videos out there. He is on a spree right now, discrediting every video. Oh my god, I just hate this man so much. I think
Yeah,
he's like,
he has a full-time job now. I think he will go crazy, discrediting everybody.
but that's so stupid. Like, you cannot even deny, like, the videos. Those are not planes. You can see it from there. He's just out there saying you mistook a Venus from a drone. Are you kidding me? Venus never moves like that, or like that's something, or that's something. That's just dumb.
Yeah, and of course, our good friend Ashton Forbes is on this like a hawk, and he's also linking it to his research and the stuff that he has uncovered.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, in this particular post, he says if these things are coming out of the water, that would make them transmedium, which we just said. I know a Navy engineer, Salvador Pais, who has a patent called inertial mass reduction for a transmedium craft. So basically, what he's saying here is that the Navy and probably also the U.S. military or defense itself, which is basically for me it's all one thing, but it's of course different departments, that they do have these abilities with subcontractors. Right?
Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, you're right. They are all the same thing. And also, remind me of something. Yesterday, George Santos was saying that these were the exercises done by Space Force.
Oh, yeah.
That's so dumb, man. They were not. It's why the Space Force is in space. They are not even in space. They are literally below our airplanes.
Yep. Yeah, no, that there's a lot of nonsense out there, and we
also if Space Force was doing some drill, they would have tell the authorities that we will be flying your drones. Just make sure that the planes don't get hit by our drones, because that's a very busy airport area. That's why you cannot fly a drone in that area.
Yep.
So
let's go on. This is Ashton Forbes himself, and he will put some theories forward in this clip. It's very interesting.
If it's our defense contractors and they're just out there kind of testing their technology, why do they have to do it over New Jersey? I mean, why are they doing it in an area where people are actually seeing it? Wouldn't they want to keep it covert?
That's a good question. And it may just be a matter of where else are you going to test it? If you have some technology that you need to test, do you want to test it over the Ukraine and Russia? Do you want to test it over Iran? Just like with that drone that Iran hacked and captured, you risk it being captured by your adversaries. there's also this theory out there. Well, what if they're testing it because they want to see how our law enforcement and our people react to it? They want to see what kind of surveillance capabilities that we would use to report on it. And that might be a good way to tell multiple things. Might be able to tell how our population would react to some type of blue beam invasion, but it also might be able to tell how another foreign adversary would be able to react. For example, what if these drones have some kind of stealth capability? They would want to be able to see, are conventional detection mechanisms able to see these things? I just saw a report right before this interview where they were claiming that these things are not being picked up by radio frequencies. They're somehow able to either jam, block, or stealth themselves from that, which would make them somewhat undetectable.
So it could potentially be a drill that the law enforcement is not aware of. It's a drill that they might be taking part in, they're not aware of.
I think there's quite a few possibilities, but that would be kind of high up on the list of probabilities that I think it could be. Now, whether or not we get a resolution to this, I think is still up in the air. To me, the only way we're going to get a solid resolution is if the government takes some of these really high-grade military cameras they have that film in infrared, and they release some of that footage to us. Because mostly what we've seen right now are low-quality footage from just civilians. A lot of what I've seen is very either clearly airplanes or satellites and things like that. And part of the problem here, too, is that in order to really get good information about what it is, we can't rely on necessarily even the optical spectrum. I've done a lot of research on plasma and the idea of there being plasma drones. And these things are just balls of light, balls of energy. So when you look at it through a camera, it would be completely indistinguishable but from, say, a star that's really far away.
Yeah, so we got a couple of those too.
Yeah. This plasma drone thing, I've never heard it before until this event.
Oh.
Like, not today, but I mean, until this whole New Jersey fiasco.
Yeah.
I didn't know about the plasma drones. So that's a new thing for me.
Well, Ashton Forbes has been on it like a hawk, as I said. But
Yeah.
this one is one that you put forward, which is from CNBC.
ABC.
Yeah, ABC channel.
But I guarantee there are so many people looking up and making those recordings because this mystery is one that needs to be solved. For now, we're live here in Mendham.
But anyway, so it's sort of like a pulsating,
like a plasma drone.
Yeah, like a plasma drone. And then people put underneath this video that it could be a star that's out of focus, because then you get sort of a camera effect. And the person that's sort of talking to her says, that's the moon, but she says like, no, the moon is over there. We can see the moon.
Definitely not a moon. I could buy into the star theory, but that's definitely not the moon.
No, and we got some others that are sort of similar.
No, but I wanna talk about this clip more because Mick West also said that this is out of focus star. First of all, this was not shot by a random civilian. This was shot by like best camera by the ABC News channel. First of all, they're highly trained cameramen who know how to focus. Right?
Yeah.
This is their whole job. They get hundreds of thousands of dollars in salary just to make sure that everything is in focus. That's their job. So they know how to focus. And do you think that they don't know the difference between a star and a drone? Because like you could literally, as a civilian, I can see it. Like, because last night when I was out, there were a lot of stars as well. I know which was a star, which was not, because you could see the distance. Like stars are really far away. These drones were not. So when they were recording, they knew what they were saying.
No,
What it is, we have to wait and see. But this is great.
the only thing that you could sort of say is that maybe at that particular moment they didn't have a drone that they could film, and then they thought like, okay, we just do this and then we can show something live. But that's the only sort of possible explanation I could think of.
No, but usually when they are on the streets, they don't have drones. They need to get special permissions.
But I mean, sort of to out of focus a star in order to show something live.
I don't think. Look, I hate mainstream media. I don't trust anything, but I don't think they will do stupid shit like that.
No, I think they're not that desperate. Okay, well, this one is sort of in line with the previous one. So this one is also from, I think Ashton Forbes at least picked it up.
Check this thing out. anytime I try to zoom in with my camera all the way up to the drone, this is what I get. It has a round, like, shield around it. Fucking nuts. Well, right, that's zoomed in, 100, 208. And I'll show you the drone right now. Up in the sky.
So that one is very similar to the ones that the news people just saw, right?
Yeah, but this looks like I'm not saying that's a star. I'm just saying it can pass as a star. This one, because the guy, this thing is still, and this looks like a star, like from the normal eye. So debunkers can make a claim because you don't see any movement of this orb.
That good point. And some of the stuff that we're gonna show here, I'm sure some of it will be debunked, right? I mean,
Yeah, it could be a satellite too.
yeah. So don't take our proof. We're just making sense of things as we go
Again,
along.
like
just
we
like
need
the
to
rest
make
of it.
sense of it, and we need to come from both angles so we can filter what is
Yeah.
real, what is not. So, by the way, I was not saying that was a star, but I'm just saying for a debunker, it could pass as a star.
And that's the point, right? As soon as you have like a plausible explanation for something, then it doesn't matter if it's real or not real, because then the plausible explanation will become the explanation, right? Until you can prove otherwise.
Yeah.
But how the hell can you prove that was what it? Yeah, an NHI or whatever. So, but this one is also in line with the previous one, only even more spectacular.
This is crazy. My God, look at it.
Yeah.
That's not a plane. That is wild. That's going way too fast. That's not. What's up with my camera? I had to go run in and get my camera. Nobody was gonna believe me. What's with my camera? Look at this thing. Is he?
Well, I really like this one because it's so spectacular.
This is undebunkable. You cannot do anything with that because this is showing everything here: movement, proper light source, and everything. So this is also it's moving really fast. It's not slow one. So
And I want to play another one, which is actually also sort of more or less the same, but different. So this one. Oh, sorry.
What is this? Is this the same kind of drone that they're seeing in New Jersey?
So it looks very similar to the other one.
Yeah, it looks very similar.
And what do you make of this one?
Well, it's weird. It's as Ashton Forbes was saying, there's could be a plasma drone because the light source is very powerful, like very bright light source over there.
Yeah, and I was talking to a friend, right? So and I'm sure you have talked to many people as well. And it's a little bit the same as with Bitcoin Live, and we are trying to convince people that Bitcoin is the best thing since sliced bread, and and you can bombard them with information, and you can bombard them with excellent arguments and data, and what not. But my experience actually with doing this for 5 years is that as long as people are not as long as they're not opening their mind to what you're saying, the amount of evidence that they will need is infinite. There's no limit to the amount of evidence that they will need to change their mind. So what that means is, as long as it doesn't touch them on a personal level or somebody near them, or if they are curious out of themselves and sort of look at the world and how it's changing, as long as those characteristics aren't met, it doesn't matter what you say. You could have
but
whole through.
okay, I'll tell you my experience. So I will talk about my first day later. So after first day, I was like crazy. Like I was surprised. Like I saw something. Last night, I called a friend in the evening. Not the evening. It's around 5. So it's dark. It's usually dark around 5. So I was outside and I was talking to him. I told him like my experience, and he was like, "Oh, okay." He was like not paying attention because he's not into UFOs. And then I saw something, a light fly over me. It could have been a plane, but it doesn't look like a plane. It looked like a drone. And usually they don't fly over my house. Their flight route is different. So it just flew over me. And then I talked to him, and then went out again later that night and called me that he saw something moving left to right, like scanning something. It was going from one city to another because he had a good view of two cities, and those two cities are like not different far apart, they are closer. They're just there's just one road separating them. Basically that's like a one city, but there is a municipality is different. So he was talking to me that he's going from one city to another, from another city come back into his city. And then I said, okay, that's crazy. So he started believing it, and he said, I've never experienced anything like that, and it was doing crazy shit for a very long time. He told me around 8, and then me and my friend went out, another friend went out around 11 to the peak of the mountain where we could see a good view. That's the second video I sent. I also tweeted in this morning. So there we saw the same thing. It was going from left, right, and then move a little bit further, and then left and right. It looked like it is scanning the area, not with lasers or anything. It's just like there's sensor, and it was following one exact path from.
And I want to say one thing before you go on. People should follow Sid because you're posting these videos that you're describing on your account. There's some really cool ones. I'm not sure if we're gonna show them because I got so much stuff.
Yeah. We are not going to show them, but just keep an eye on because I'm going hunting. Yeah, I'm hunting them down. So there was like I was measuring it because it was going from one pole to another in my perspective, not actually, because that's when you're doing a perspective, you can mark 2 points. That's what I was doing. It was going from one pole to the tree, all the way crossing the tree and then coming back to that pole, and then moving a little bit further and doing that. So then we chased it to the city. We were in Burnaby, it's a city, and then we saw it near North Vancouver. So we drove over there. We didn't find anything, I think. And then we found something, we are not sure, but this is the first day. I will come to those later, but if you go a little bit
lower,
no, up.
Oh, up.
I've shared so much shit.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, this one.
Okay.
Just enlarge it.
Play it.
Yeah. So you see this pole? Okay, let's see its movement. Do you see that light going towards the pole? So this is what I marked. So it's going all the way to near the pole, and then turn around from that, and it go back to this tree area, and then turn back.
And you're in Vancouver, right, in Canada?
It looks like it is
stopped. In Vancouver. But this is
left,
like Greater Vancouver.
now moving left side.
So see, it was moving right first, and then it started going left.
Yeah, and it's blinking.
It's blinking, and it was constantly doing that for hours. Yeah, now moving left. It was clearly moving right.
Yeah, so follow Sid. That first of all, but like you said with your friend, right? So of course he's a friend of yours, so that helps, right? If you have a UAP believer, or at least somebody in your surroundings that is sort of open to this stuff and doing stuff with it, thinking about it, talking about it. That helps. But like you said, he also went out as a disbeliever, as a skeptic. But he was probably kind of curious about it, right? Just to maybe to prove you wrong, right? In order.
No, he just went out to smoke because
Okay,
we live in an apartment.
but
So
anyway, but the point
yeah,
is, this proves my point, right? Only if
yeah,
it touches you on a personal level, like if you actually see it yourself. I sometimes say only if the aliens take you away, right? Or if they show themselves to you personally, then a disbeliever or a skeptic becomes a believer. Or
exactly.
but otherwise it doesn't matter what you say, because you need extraordinary evidence. And basically, even with all the clips that we just showed today, and let's say all of them are true, which I don't believe, but let's say they're all authentic, all NHI, then people will just say, okay, they're AI, the AI generated.
Yeah, but that's not true. There are some. The fact of the matter is, there are some real videos. For example, mine, because I recorded some myself. The only thing you can say I'm a liar and hoaxing
Yeah.
it. I didn't even have a time to do that. I recorded that 11, and now I just went to bed and woke up and just
Yeah,
talking
but
to.
I mean, people would say, Mick West would say, yeah, Sid
Yeah,
has
make sure.
has a motive. Maybe he gets paid or whatever, or he's a believer and he doesn't want his belief to be shaken, so he tries to convince others of his belief in order to
Yeah,
make
but
himself believe.
here's the thing about my belief. I really believe in aliens. That's not a secret. I do. But these drones were not aliens, I can guarantee you. This is human technology and is scanning something. And this is going to be to the next point right now, because Joe Rogan posted a video
Oh yeah.
today. Did you see that one?
Oh no, not today. Okay, wait. Yeah,
So
go
Joe
on.
Rogan posted a video. It was like a statement from the drone maker who make military grade drones. Actually, if you can go and find it, I will actually do that.
Yeah.
So that's actually a very good video. Let me find it for you.
Oh wait, I probably have it. You said today, right?
I don't know if I sent it to you, but
Oh yeah, here I got it. This one. I'm gonna put it on the screen right now.
because this is a very interesting theory.
This
Yeah,
one?
yeah, this one.
Okay. Here we go.
My name is John Ferguson. I'm the CEO of Saxon Aerospace here in Wichita, Kansas. I'm not normally a TikTok kind of a guy. I like watching this stuff every once in a while. But I'm a manufacturer of unmanned aircraft, military grade unmanned aircraft, as you can see one of my systems here. There's all of these mysterious drones going on off the East Coast, and as a professional, as a subject matter expert, I wanted to give you all my opinion on what I think could be going on with these drones. I don't particularly believe that these have a nefarious intent. I could be wrong, but I want to give you the truth and what I believe. It's my own opinion, and I've not bounced this off of anybody. So, if you think it's bullshit, whatever, that's cool. I don't want to spread misinformation, as we know that there's a lot of that going around. But anyway, back in the 1980s, Ronald Reagan had dismantled the nuclear program, and there were, with Russia, there were countless nuclear missiles that were disarmed and disposed of. Well, there were over 80, I believe. There were over 80 nuclear warheads that were in Ukraine that came up missing. Okay? We don't know where they are. Maybe somebody does, but nobody really knows where these are. And I speak with some pretty high-level government officials on this stuff, and it seems as though that is the case. So I spoke to a gentleman a few months ago who was trying to raise an alarm to the highest levels of our government, which they had their ears closed, about this one particular nuclear warhead that he physically put his hands on. He physically touched this warhead that was left over from Ukraine. And he knew that that thing was headed towards the United States. Okay? That is a very serious deal. And everyone knows that the United States government, this administration, is pushing to get into a war with Russia. We all know that. We all feel it. We all see it. Okay? Well, back up a few years. Do y'all remember when those drones were mysteriously flying across the Interstate 70 corridor from Colorado up into Nebraska, down here into Kansas, and out into Missouri? Well, it was believed that those drones were looking for radioactive material because there had been some material that come up missing here in the United States, and they felt like it was high probability that the nuclear or the radioactive material would be taken along the Interstate 70 corridor heading east or west or south. So from what we understand, they were out there trying to find this radioactive material. Now, drones, they have no reason to be in the air at night unless you're doing some type of ISR work, intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, looking for bad guys, or looking for a victim, a search and rescue victim, or law enforcement, or some type of military project, right? There's no reason for a drone to be flying at night, really, okay? Because they don't see shit. So, unless you have thermal optics, drones really don't see stuff. You need to do mapping during the day. If you're going to do farming stuff, you mostly do it during the day. The only reason why you would ever fly an aircraft, an unmanned aircraft at night, is if you're looking for something, whether it be a person or trying to smell gas. We have methane gas detection systems that can detect gas leaks in pipelines. You really wouldn't use thermal optics for trying to find gas leaks, just simply because the only way you're actually going to find a gas leak with thermal optics is if the gas leak is aggressive enough that it has a difference in temperature. Because thermal imaging, it creates a digital image based off of the temperature variance. So whatever is different in temperature, it creates an image. Usually gas leaks so slow that it goes quickly into ambient before you can even see it. So we have special sensors that can detect gas leaks. We also have special sensors that can detect radioactive material. So with this gentleman that I had spoken with, who was trying to raise the alarm to try to get somebody in the government to say, hey, we need to work together to go try to find this nuclear warhead, none of that ever happened. They knew that warhead was on its way to the United States. That's all that ever came of it. Nothing ever happened. This government did not do anything at all to help this gentleman raise the alarm and raise awareness that there is a very deadly weapon on its way to the United States. It's out there. Nobody knows where it's at now. It left Europe. Now it's gone. So my own guess, is that these drones are not nefarious in intent. If they are, they are, but I doubt it. But if they are drones, the only reason why they would be flying and flying that low is because they're trying to smell something on the ground. That's it. There's no other reason for a drone to be flying in the air other than to piss a bunch of people off at night. That's it. So, my belief is they're trying to smell something on the ground. Gas leaks, radioactive material, whatever. So, and do I think that they're coming up out of the ocean? No, I don't think so. Drones, that are multi-copter type drones, not the the fixed wing aircraft that look like regular airplanes, but the multi-copters, they only have so much battery life. They have hybrid versions that are gas powered with electric, but those can still only fly for a short period of time. There's no way in hell that any drone is going to go miles off the coast as a multi-copter and fly into the interior of the United States and do a bunch of work and then turn around and fly back. It's just physics will not allow that to happen. So these drones, I believe, are launched from a location that nobody knows, but I do believe that they're flying low enough that they're just trying to sniff the ground and try to find something. So again,
that's it.
I hate to.
We can stop it here.
Interesting, definitely.
It's an interesting theory. I have some issues.
I
with
didn't
that.
know it.
Yeah, so it just got posted today. So it's a very interesting theory. And I noticed that yesterday from my experience that drone was scanning for something. And that could be a reason that they are on every important location which is connected to the ocean.
Mhm.
Because look, if maybe they are looking, because New Jersey have the ocean. It
Mhm.
is right, so they are looking there, because if the nuclear warhead is gonna come into the country, it's gonna come from the uh,
Harbor.
ocean, right?
Yeah.
Through submarines and stuff.
Yeah.
Vancouver, where I live, is also there is an ocean. So
Yeah.
because you don't
But
find them in the midways, you will only find them at the coastal cities
well, let's. I think I
or
actually have a
around that
clip of
area.
it.
No, this is just a theory to back. But by the way, I don't believe in that. But I'm just saying there is a chance. If this story is true, then there could be that reason. Okay, let's
Okay.
see what it is.
The next one from @Odin1028. Ross, I'd like to know how it's possible that these things haven't been tracked back to their source. Great question. Seems to me that if they are conventional, that is, they do not exhibit hypersonic speed or advanced radar cloaking, it would be a simple task. Absolutely. Especially considering how long they've been up at this, and they always seem to be in the same place. Something doesn't add up here. Well, look, I don't want to sound like I'm blowing our own trumpet, but we warned months ago that there was something absolutely ridiculous about the official drones explanation for what's been seen over, for example, the Langley Air Force Base in Virginia. These drone sightings, so-called, go back many months. In fact, they go back years. My good friend and colleague Marek von Rennenkamp will be joining us, and he's been talking about the Colorado drone swarms that go right back to, I think, 2020, when there were unexplained objects just like these hovering over vast sections of the Midwest, mainly Colorado, and there were just no explanations given by any of the law enforcement agencies, the FAA, the FBI, the Department of Defense. We just never got an answer. And you know what I think has been happening here? I think that the Department of Defense and the various agencies like Homeland Security, they've been hoping that this might resolve itself. They've been using the explanation that these are foreign adversary drones, possibly Russian. And the way it works for somebody like me as a journalist, there's a lot of backgrounding from intelligence officials. So they won't go on the record, and the excuse is because they don't want to escalate things with Russia or China. But what they'll say is, oh, look, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, we adversary drones. They're Russian organised crime gangs in the UK flying them over UK bases. They're perhaps Russian ships from across over the horizon deploying these drones into the east coast of the United States. I'm sorry, that just doesn't wash. I'm getting reports on these objects from places like Arkansas, the Midwest, over military facilities, close to it, adjacent to military facilities. These objects are being reported in New Zealand, in my country, Australia. A guy has just sent me just overnight images of these objects over Sydney Airport. Nobody is able to explain how a foreign adversary power is able to deploy these objects over so many countries in the world. Oh, and by the way, I've had people from Russia send me their descriptions of what they're seeing in Russia, near sensitive military bases in Russia. If this is Russia, why are these objects manifesting themselves over Russia? Same with China. Next question. At E Bravo.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so foreign adversary thing is stupid. It's not happening. I don't buy that story at all. Okay, so we discussed the nuclear one. Now, what I personally think before this whole nuclear story came out, my personal idea is, which related to my first experience, like on Thursday night, what I saw that lights are appearing in the sky out of nowhere. They move and then they disappeared,
Mhm.
and they were like nothing like any drone. There were also drones flying around that. So what I thought originally, what was happening, that there were UFOs from NHI coming to the space, and military was flying these drones to track them.
Yes.
So that's why we were seeing both of them, and they were really weird. I'll explain one. But and then yesterday, this is what was happening. The drone which I was seeing, it was scanning for those UFOs around the airspace. So they are trying to track, and there are both thing happening at the same time.
Yeah.
That's like the my personal explanation.
But then, okay, but then I actually 100% agree with that myself. But then the group that is unidentified, that could be a lot of things, right? It could be an
Yeah.
NHI, it
Yeah.
could be a deep state American project, it could be a global contracting syndicate group. It could be a hybrid of NHI and some human group, or it could be a psyop. Right?
Yeah, it could be, but the technology was crazy because look, I don't know what they are building, but what I saw is like, first of all, there were, if you go back to my Twitter, I'll see
And
if I,
even, by the way, sorry, I want to say one more thing. Even
yeah.
if it's NHI, you still don't know anything, right? Because
Yeah. Also, it could be a human, but it could be a race of human which we don't know which race it is, right?
it could
You
be
know, the
any.
breakaway civilization, the story of breakaway civilization.
Yeah, yeah. So actually, so I really like this one. I think it's from Chris from Fruition Lab. Let's go through this. Let's go through some theories. So here, he wrote this. I think he means forbidden weapons, not forgiven weapons, but unlikely to be foreign military. Why? If they were, it would be a giant saber-rattling moment for the United States, and they would blow them out of the sky, similar to the Iranian drone strike on Israel. Not one of those made it. Also, in military tactics, you wouldn't just hover around for a number of nights, allowing your enemy to scan or understand your technology. The sightings have been reported to be global and in places that are not aligned to the United States. So that one is very unlikely. 2. Advanced US drone technology. While it is possible the US would be flying their own high-tech drones, why would they make them visible? There's no doubt that the United States would deny ownership of its own advanced military technology. However, why potentially incite public panic over it? Possibility could include a potential false flag operation, although why drag it out, or an interception of some sort of foreign or alien technology. Interception of some sort of foreign or alien technology. So this one is very plausible, I think. Then 3, aliens. As seen from the recent congressional hearing, the United States is in possession of non-human technology and remains. The question then becomes, why would they appear now and just float around? Perhaps some key moment in human development or timing. Could it be related to the development of artificial intelligence and quantum computing? And now we are at the phase where it's time for first contact or on a public scale. If they were going to make themselves visible, doing it very slowly would be advisable. Although no matter what, it would lead to public disturbance. Humans will likely be the worst part of this. Unlikely to be hostile aliens, because if they were, they probably would have blown us up a long time ago. If you're in possession of this kind of technology to travel far distances, resources and energy are no longer a driving factor in expansion, so it would be unlikely that the warfare alien race would have much of a motivation to take over another planet based on the resource consumption or waste. I agree with parts of this. And then hybrid, both advanced tech and alien craft. It is hard to deny that there are some extremely advanced and difficult to explain phenomenon in the sky right now. However, there are also some fairly close representational vehicles to conventional aircraft, one that had even crashed in New Jersey, which looked to be very similar to a modern advanced drone aircraft. Perhaps the US government is monitoring UAPs with its own advanced tech. So there's some overlap between his theories, or the four that he mentions. I think number 2 and number 3 are the most plausible, and basically that's also stuff that you just said, and I think I also said it. Definitely, like I think in the previous one, but and I think you turned off your microphone, I imagine, because
Oh,
you're
sorry, my
extremely
mistake.
quiet.
Sorry. I started speaking. Yeah, I usually mute my mic when you're speaking. But
That's good.
anyway, so regarding the alien theory,
Yeah.
we are thinking that's just alien is one group. It's not. If there are alien, there are multiple groups, and this is the actual theory that there are multiple factions of aliens from different
Absolutely.
planets who are fighting for something. Some of them are good guys, some of them are bad guys, but we don't know, right? So there is a possibility. And then the disclosure thing which is happening, because they were not trying to release the actual story of the aliens, so the faction which want the disclosure, they said if you don't do it, we do a catastrophic disclosure. So this could be one of that. And that is also also a theory. Also, when Trump will take over, there will be much more hope. I am hoping there will be much more transparency, but I think before that they want to lay the ground. When Trump takes over, he can declassify everything.
Yeah.
So this could be one of those things that they are just setting up the stage for
Yeah.
a disclosure.
I
So
agree.
yeah. So regarding that, I just sent you a video on DM. If you just open it, this was the most insane one.
Okay, I'm gonna.
So what happened? I took my old phone with me because I have two phones. One is iPhone 14, like 14 Pro, which record better, and this one was iPhone 11. This is my personal use one. So when I go out somewhere, I usually take it just in case if I lose it. It's just like a shitty phone. So I wasn't able to record a good video, but this one was crazy.
Here we go.
The video quality is really bad, but those lights were in a form of a circle, and they were constantly blinking and forming a circle. I'm living on this street from like for a very long time, for like 5-6 years now. I'm planning to move, but I've never seen anything like that. So this could not be anything else. Also, they were still in one place, and they were just moving like a circle, like not a sphere. It's just a circle.
Okay, well, this might be a good time to sort of run through some of these objects, because I got a lot of clips and people have been waiting, dying to see these UAPs. We already saw some of them, but we got some really nice ones. So let's go. We got this one. It's more conventional, I would say, but of course the sound is horrible.
That's a drone.
Yeah. Definitely, right?
Yeah, that's definitely a drone, and definitely a drone made by humans.
Agree. But it has nice blinking lights.
It has nice blinking lights, yeah.
Then we got this one.
Look, nothing in the sky at all. Then all of a sudden, bam! What is that? Anybody tell me what that is? We're in the middle of the ocean on a ferry. Nothing around. Look, nothing around. No land, no nothing.
So that one is.
This is actually this video. I saw that one. I think this is a good proof that they are coming from the ocean, because it is over the ocean.
Yeah, and the problem with this one is, it looks so spectacular that you almost you believe this is sort of AI.
No,
right?
you know why? No. Because this was shot at the perfect light, because it's right right after the sunset, I guess, or right before the sunset. I
So
think
it
right
makes
after the sunset. So there is enough light in the sky, and also it's enough darkness that you get the best night videos at this time. So
yeah, and
that's
then
why this looks so spectacular.
and also the sounds of the setting, it kind of matches up with sort of the experience. It doesn't seem faked or doctored, but it's
Yeah,
difficult to say with these kind of things.
exactly. It's difficult, but I'm in regards to the quality. I think it is because it was shot at the right time.
Well, then we got this one. This is from where is it? I think it was wait, I'm gonna scroll up a little bit. I'm not sightings.
Ferguson.
I'm not exactly sure about the location here, but I think
Anyway,
it's
let's play and see it. Okay, this one looks fake to me. I'm telling you why. I'll tell you why.
Okay. Go.
Because the people, the way they are acting, no one act like that. They look like they are faking a fear.
Yeah,
They all run together, and that looks like a staged one.
And you also see there's this gap between them running inside, and then
Yeah, and then
they're also laughing right while they're running.
Yeah. Also, one man, the cameraman is staying still at his place, and everyone else is running. Like,
That's also,
doesn't
yeah.
make sense. This looks fake to me.
Agree.
It's like not fake, but like staged, properly staged.
How about this one? So this is the video over here. Wait, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. This is also New Jersey, by the way. So the video is in the corner, and then they sort of zoomed out on the object as best as they could.
Yeah, I saw something similar to this. Not kidding.
Yeah, and it doesn't look man-made, or at least if it is, it's very advanced.
Yeah. It is very advanced. This is something I saw something like that too. But
Okay,
at that time, I wasn't able to record because my camera I had like a shitty phone with me at that time.
I'm gonna sort of, I think, okay, this one we got. I'm deleting them as we go along to clear up space on my computer. Okay, then this one. I think that, oh yeah, Argentina.
Es como que a veces se ve más, es como que van de un lado para el otro, boludo.
Amigo, están muy cerca, son ovnis
Están
seguros.
muy cerca, claro.
Ovni asegurado.
¿Por qué? Van a 2 por hora, culiado, nos están filmando,
Qué 2 por hora, va rapidísimo, amigo.
So what do you think?
Yeah, this one looks legit. I don't know if they faked it, but why will they? But it looks very legit.
Yeah, I think also it's also sort of that sounds kind of strange because it's pretty impressive, but it's also sort of anticlimactic in the way they sort of present it. So has more
I am neutral on this one. It could be fake, right? But
yeah,
I don't know. Because the only thing is, this kind of formation I've not seen in any other videos. This formation look weird. Not exactly.
It kind of looks like the ones that we saw with the sea, right? As they sort of looked out on the sea.
No, it's way different than that. But
I mean, it's different, but okay. Let's. So these are sort of the videos that I got. I think I have them all. Yeah, I think that was all of them. And then we got the radio interference.
Oh, that was insane. If it's true.
Okay,
let's play that.
I got 3 of them. So
yeah, let's play this.
It's interesting to see them side by side. So this one.
What the fuck? It's supposed to be Christmas music.
So let's first play them all.
Yeah, let's play all together, then we will analyze.
Yeah. Okay. So that was number 1. Here's number 2. Okay, and now number 3. I wonder if they all tuned on the same radio channel.
Yeah, we'll just check. This one is 106.7. So let's see what's the next one.
Yeah, also. I think they're all on the
same channel.
Yeah, the first one.
How is that?
So that's interesting because he switches channels and then you get then it disappears.
So
and all 3 of them had the same channel on because of the Christmas song. So it could actually be a joke.
It could be also it is happening. Yeah, if it's not a hoax, then there is like a disturbance on one specific frequency.
True, but
So people in New Jersey can tune into that, who are especially the radio freaks. They should go and look for it. We should have more videos, but the thing is, the pattern was the same. The audio,
yeah, that's true.
frequency pattern was the same. There is also a possibility that 106.7 somebody is just doing that to have fun.
Yeah. That you got this drone invasion. People are talking about aliens. So then, and everybody's tuning on the Christmas channel. So if you
Yeah.
would play it hoax, that would be. And it also kind of sounds like The Arrival. Did you see that movie?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That, to be honest, that doesn't sound like interference. That sounds more like somebody is playing that. So there
Yeah.
also broadcasting a frequency is an easy thing to do. It's not like a
Yeah.
rocket
Yeah.
science. So anybody can broadcast something on that frequency if that is an publicly, or even if it's not, then it is easy to do. You just
Sorry
need
about that.
few. Yeah.
So this one is actually, I think you sent it to me, and this is about an alien invasion, supposedly.
Holy cow. That thing is completely stationary shooting.
Yeah. So
Okay,
that
so
one is curious.
yeah, okay, so the official explanation on community notes, now that's an official one, that this was a military drill,
Yeah.
and it was pre-planned or something, whatever they said. I don't like this explanation for few reasons. First of all, there was no sound.
Yeah.
And there was no explosion, because if they were military exercises and they were hitting something with that kind of firepower, wherever it was hitting there should be some kind of explosion. because I've seen enough war videos in the last 2 years in Russia and Palestine-Israel war, that I know whenever you fire something, there is always an explosion, lighter or fast or bigger, depending on the firepower. So there was no explosion, there was no sound. Secondly, military is not doing that near the civilian areas. And what kind of equipment they're using here, like which craft they are using to shoot,
Yeah.
because it was standing still, so it could be a helicopter, but helicopters don't have that kind of power. Even if they do, they don't do stuff like that. And then there is a lot of sound of them.
Yeah, and you would also not do a military drill in this kind of situation that we're in, right? That would freak people the hell out. Plus, you wouldn't do it in the middle of the night in
Middle
this
of
kind
the
of
night,
situation.
especially in the middle of the night, like they go out of nowhere where nobody can see it, like where they have Area 51 in Nevada, nobody's there, so nobody get
Yeah,
disturbed.
that would be more logical. Yeah,
Yeah,
if
this was
yeah.
okay. First of all, is United States military stupid to show their drills, like to do drills where everyone, including Russian, Chinese spies or Iranian spies, can come and record what they are doing? I don't think they're that stupid. So unless this video is a total hoax and somebody digitally altered it, I don't see anything else. My biggest clue is like no explosion, no sound. In the
Yeah,
first video you can hear, in the second one there was no sound anyway, but in the first video there was a sound and person is speaking.
so I sort of want to wrap it up a little bit because I think Douglas is also waiting for his show.
Okay,
But
yeah,
I
let's
sort of
wrap
want
it
to
up.
wrap it up in the sense that so like what Ross Coulthard was saying in the video, right? These things go way back, and they go way back, right? Because this is
Way
not
back.
like the first, like if these things are actually NHI, we don't know. We don't know anything. Basically, they could be anything, but if they are NHI, it's hardly the first mass sighting that we've ever experienced. I actually had a selection of mass sightings, of famous mass sightings throughout history, UAP history, that is, that nobody knows about. So we got, for example, the Phoenix lights. If you've never heard about the Phoenix lights, go check out the Phoenix lights. I'll link it down below. It was a mass sighting over Phoenix, Arizona. I think it was 1996, but it could be, around there.
I think, yeah, I think they were even older, but anyway.
Well, and thousands of people saw this sort of boomerang or triangular shaped object that was hovering over the city for hours, like hovering very slowly, and it was the size of multiple football fields. I think somebody described it as an aircraft carrier in the sky. And then at some point it sieved off into the distance at hypersonic speed. So it was like, bloop, gone. The governor of Arizona, Phi something, Symington, I think, he first ridiculed the sighting in order to sort of keep the people, because people were panicking, right? People are panicking right now. People are speculating. It becomes kind of dangerous. So you have to settle the nerves of the people in order to restore order. So he sort of ridiculed it. We said we caught the person who did it, and then they brought up an alien in somebody in a suit, and then everybody laughed. But later on, he admitted on camera that he is actually an aircraft pilot himself, and he had seen the craft himself. And he said, like, it was out of this world. In all my career, I've never seen anything even close to this thing that everybody saw. So he regretted having ridiculed it. So that's a very famous case. Another famous case, which is much older, is the Battle of Los Angeles, which is actually from 1942. So that's way before we had any of this technology ourselves, I imagine. And that was actually the army shooting on what are alien aircraft,
like the one we saw in the previous video.
This was actually from the newspapers back then. So if you haven't heard about the Battle of Los Angeles, they actually made a movie about it. Check it out. Then we got the Washington flap. That's this one. So that is from 1952. There were like alien ships hovering over Washington for a few days or a few weeks, I think, actually. Mass sightings, thousands of people witnessed it. Very famous, very well recorded. Then we got the Colorado drone sightings that Ross mentioned. That's this one. It's from 1919 to 1920. Then we have, what else do we have? We have this one.
It wasn't 1990. It was 2019.
Oh, sorry, 2019. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry. And this one is from 1975. Also a pretty famous case that also involves the Air Force and the Defense Department. Then we have, oh yeah, this one is actually my favorite. So this one is actually in Italy. This is from the BBC. You can see it, the BBC Sport. The day UFOs hovered over Fiorentina's stadium. These are four legendary soccer players, now retired, of course. And they go over their experience. But basically, they say right at the start, a crowd of around 10,000 people were gathered, and then, them included and supporters. And they saw this. I remember clearly seeing this incredible sight. They were moving very fast, and then they just stopped. It all lasted a couple of minutes. I would like to describe them as giant Cuban cigars that, and they just reminded of Cuban. So they were cylindrical shaped.
Yeah.
But
before you end, just show the drawing I made of 1561 one, because that's a very interesting event.
Oh, I got a few more.
Oh, you got a few more. Yeah, in the end, just play that. Make sure.
Yes. So this is and this is actually from this is the Colares Island, and George Knapp recorded this one, or went over this one in this new documentary series on Netflix, which I can highly recommend. That documentary series. It's called Investigation Alien, and this was actually an aggressive UAP invasion where they actually sort of herded people and took samples, and the military was involved. It's very well recorded, and it also involved thousands of people and witnesses. And it's from 1977. I think it was Brazil, if I'm from the top of my mind. But we also got this one. This is from Egypt. This is quite recent. This was a giant pink orb, leaves onlookers stunned, suddenly appeared in the sky. I think this was from a few weeks ago.
ده في الوان ثانيه غير الابيض.
ده احمر. والله انا هو احمر ولا الكاميرا
يا جدعان ولا يا جدعان.
لا عشان اسمها ايه؟ عشان سوريا.
So you
Where was it?
Egypt.
Egypt, yeah, because they're speaking Arabic.
Yeah, so the other one was from Latin America, and then we got another one from Latin America. That is one that we're gonna talk about more about, and that's the Peru alien attack. Timothy Alberino is a famous.
Probably we'll discuss that in our next podcast, because that's
because we're gonna do one more on Project Bluebeam, and then I think we're done. But Timothy Alberino is like a famous UAP researcher, very smart guy, wrote some excellent books, and does a lot of field work. He actually went there. This was what I think it was last year, where it went on for a couple of months, or it was the year before. Time flies, but last year or the year before, and then citizens in Peru, villagers in a certain area of Peru on different locations that had no contact with each other, were visited by entities or beings on flying skateboards that were connected to orbs in the sky, and they were called face peelers because some people got hurt, and some faces got mangled or almost mangled, and yeah, it's a famous case, and he actually went there and he talked to these people and let them tell their stories, and he also gave them supplies and weapon assistance in how to deal with these, because these people were actually patrolling their village with shotguns and booby traps in order to protect themselves. It's a very famous case and also aggressive. So it seems in Latin America the UAPs are more aggressive. And then I think I covered them all. Yeah, so all I'm saying is, like, these mass sightings of UAPs, they've happened throughout history. And I think now we have social media, and I think also your microphone is out. Now we have social media, so people are, of course, dealing with these mass sightings very differently than like 50 years ago.
Yeah. Also, the argument was like, everybody has the iPhone. Why don't we see a lot of videos? Now you see a lot of videos, and now that argument is debunked, right?
Yeah, well, but that's the point that I made earlier with evidence, right? So it's, either you have no evidence and then they say, oh, there's no evidence, and then you have a mass sighting and then say, oh, people are, mass hysteric
Hallucinating.
and
Swamp
hallucinating,
guess.
and it's all AI, and people are
No,
fighting
swamp
for
guess.
attention and
Swamp
clicks.
guess. No, remember the swamp guess one? They always say
Yeah,
that.
yeah, but you can also say, yeah, people just want attention, and they will, throw something in TikTok for likes and views, and you can make up any excuse that you
Yeah,
want.
but if it could be with one person, two person, when you have thousands
Yeah.
of videos out there from so many people, so many different people from so many different locations, and you can put those videos, and you cannot deny that, like, this is not everybody is looking for attention, because nobody's getting an attention. Those videos are, but we don't even know who is recording that,
And
right?
I
They
got
are not
so
selling books or anything.
no, true. I absolutely agree, and of course, some people are there that do want to have views and likes, and they're sort of hitchhiking on the hype, so to speak. You do got you also got that, right? Or some people misrecognizing planes, and
Everybody
because
wanna get
suddenly
famous, yeah.
people start suddenly looking up into the sky, like we talked last time. People look at the ground normally, and suddenly now everybody's looking up in the sky, and they are noticing things that were always there, but they had no idea about, and they are misrecognizing planes for UAPs and all this
Yeah,
kind of.
but I don't think they were always there like that. They come in waves. So there was a wave in 96 when the Phoenix light happened, and then in 2020 there were, and this phenomena is new because I've been going out a lot all my life, right? Especially I go out on the night walk, and then I never seen anything like that in the sky. These are unique, they are unusual, and they are new.
And I posted my own 4 theories, which kind of overlap with Fruition Labs. I won't go over. Well, I can go over them really quick if I still
Yeah,
got them on.
remember your friend is waiting. Douglas is waiting.
Oh yeah, okay, wait. Yeah, I
Yeah.
told him to wait for a little bit.
Okay,
So.
okay, awesome.
Okay, these are the 4. Either it is a global deep state or spectre group we talked about that is flexing its muscle to show who's boss and threatening the incoming President Trump to keep his nose out of their affairs, and as a bonus, get more funding into R&D and further prime the public to what is coming. Or it could be a group that is actually pro disclosure, right? That's also possible. Second, they are adversaries, but since this tech is so classified, each country doesn't know each other's nor their own capabilities, so it's carefully testing without tipping its hand, least probable in this case. 3, it seems these are occurring worldwide, but especially at all nuclear-armed world powers, so perhaps NHI is sending a warning for us not to go there after we send nukes to Europe to protect. So basically, to protect their property, us, the world, or maybe as guardians of the world, right? You can also, say it's benevolent. And 4, because things are about to really change radically, perhaps it is our unconscious heightened awareness or alarm that is calling them forth or summoning them, and that they react to our state of being, or to a fork in the road, as in the sense of destiny. And I actually came up with the 5th one after reading a lot of, or thinking about, it's actually one that I had way before. Now, it could actually be a super highly advanced AI, right? Because if
Yeah.
video from 2014 is correct, those orbs that were circling the plane and making it poof, go disappear.
Yeah.
That those drones, those orbs, they were driven, or they had to be driven by AI, and that AI in 2014 had to be more advanced than the AI that we have right now. And one of the other things that I've been wondering about, and of course this AI guy just got killed, the OpenAI.
Oh yeah, that's an insane story. We need to go and do more research, because also Elon Musk was tweeting about
OpenAI.
be doing something, and then this whistleblower got murdered.
Yeah,
suicide. I don't believe in suicide, because every time a whistleblower is committing a suicide, this story is getting older now. Nobody believes that. This happened with it happened with the same industry people, right? Boeing, AI.
and also with Monez, right? The guy from Project Bluebeam, who wrote Project Bluebeam. He also,
there are so many suicides or accidents that
or heart
now
attacks.
it's suspicious.
Yeah. So maybe it's like a super AI who also keeps check on the other AIs, right? Because maybe those sort of AIs that we can play with, because obviously we're not playing with high-end AI, right? They would never release that to the public unless they have like 5 years after they have used it. So they are always more advanced. They always have more advanced technological and military equipment than what we have right now by definition. So maybe there's a higher level AI that is able to control the AI that we are operating in, and that's maybe also why you sometimes see those AIs
AI is not the problem. The problem is the person or the organization which have built that AI. That's
so basically this AI could be so advanced that it's already out of control, and staging these kind of things in order to get something out of it. It's a wild idea. I just throw it out there.
We will see. But I think next week's podcast probably will be we will have more evidence by then, and let's see how it goes. And I'll be going out trying to record more UFOs if I see more. I don't know if I will, but I will definitely go and see.
And we'll talk more Bluebeam.
Yeah, Bluebeam.
This was just a ton of videos, basically.
Exactly.
And I was
we didn't get a chance to discuss Bluebeam, so next week will be Bluebeam.
Because I want to make the connection between, you already did it in your way, but I also want to do it in my way, the connection between Project Bluebeam, UAPs, and religion, because I think there's something there.
Exactly.
Okay, this was the show. I hope Douglas hasn't started yet. He's right after this one. And I wish you a really nice evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are.
Bye, guys.